Hey. City light, hey. Yeah, probably. Sipping on some syrup, I feel Canadian. City light, hey. I might visit vibes. Hey, city light, hey. Swear it's just a city light, hey. She live in such a city light.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another picks and predictions video here on the channel. If you're new to the channel, smash that like button and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications so you never miss an upload, so you never miss a live stream, and so you never miss a fight companion. Speaking of fight companions, we have some boxing and UFC mixed martial arts to cover here today, but more on that later. Let's get to picks and predictions here today for UFC Fight Night, Perez versus Taira. Man, it seems like every UFC card is starting to fall apart. Only 11 fights here tonight on this Fight Night card. We're gonna go through the entire card, starting with the prelims all the way to the main event. And as we get through a chunk of the card, we'll refer back to the comments and see what you guys have to say. And I will stay a little bit after the card rundown, after I give my degenerate and safe parlay of the week. Although the safe parlay of the week ain't too safe on this card, I'm just gonna say it right away, because the last 2 weeks we had to speed run through these prediction videos and streams due to scheduling issues. But we have 2 hours until our first fight companion here of the day, and as always, shout out to our boy Funkmaster for putting together that amazing intro song. What's up, Anthony? Do I watch this UFC card or should I go chase tornadoes? Chasing tornadoes, honestly, the way that you have the way that you have talked it up sounds a lot more funner than this UFC card. However, this UFC card starts late, so you can go chase tornadoes and come back and probably catch most of the card. What's up, Hockey from Home? What's up, Hernan? Thank you guys for joining. A big shout out to everyone who joined us yesterday for Eris. Big shout out to everybody who joined us for Cage for UFC, Unified, and MMA Guru for raiding the chat, and all you new subscribers and viewers, and everybody who donated yesterday. You all are beauty. Mid card, damn this UFC card. What's up, boys? What's up, JL? Good to see you, man. Yeah, let's get right into it. Starting with the first fight on the card, we have Josephine Knutsson against Julia Polastri. 12-3 is the psycho Julia Polastri. She's on a 4-fight win streak. She's 4-1 in her last 5 fights, going up against the undefeated Swedish fighter, the Swedish Thunder, Josephine Knutsson. Knutsson, like I said, undefeated. She is 28 years of age, training out of All-Stars. 1 KO, TKO, 0 submissions, 6 decisions. 1-0 in the UFC and 1-0 off Contender Series. Beat Marnik Manu 6-1 in her last fights. Beat 4-1 Gal on Contender Series. 4-0, 62. Honestly, she has a really good resume. She has a really good resume coming up here. Good striker, as she was a kickboxer turned MMA fighter, and has 1 amateur fight in Brave. Her opponent, Julia, 26 years of age, riding a win streak as well. 4 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 5 decisions. Has never been knocked out, has never been submitted. 2-0 in LFA, 1-1 off Contender Series. Has had actually 2 fights canceled already in 2024. And beat a pretty solid gal on Contender Series. She choked her out in the 2nd round. And in her last LFA fight as well, beat a 6-0 girl. How's she doing today, though? 7-2. Oh, you know what? She's pretty good. She's pretty good. But honestly, her resume is pretty impressive as well. Let's be perfectly honest here. But having said that, I'm going to go with the favorite here. And surprise, surprise, I'm going with a lot of favorites here today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going with Josephine Knutsson. Her striking is just better. Just straight up. Her kickboxing is good. She's good at controlling the range. Do I think she has a lot of power? Well, no, but hey, things can change. Things can change. We've seen women that we've been like, oh wait, I don't think she has power at all. And the next thing we know, there's a quick knockout. But I do think she's just the better striker all around, fast hands. Both of them have solid resumes, but I'm a little bit more impressed with Knutsson's. Julia is more well-rounded, but I'm confident that Knutsson will be able to keep this on the feet. She's very strong as well. And yeah, Julia's path to victory is not on the feet. It is getting this to the ground. It is grappling. It is going for a submission, but I'm confident that Knutsson will keep this on the feet and likely piece her up for 3 rounds. So that was my pick, Josephine Knutsson. And again, we'll get back to the comments in a bit here. We're going to go through a chunk of the card, then we'll go back to the comments. But I see you, Caleb. Good to see you, man. Nuerdanbieke is the best dog. Thank you for the comment there. All right. Let's get to the next one. Speaking of Shalian Nuerdanbieke against Melquizael Costa. He is a very good underdog. Especially because since Costa's debut where he lost but looked impressive, he hasn't really looked that impressive since. His gas tank's a little suspect, but the talent is there. 39-11 for the Wolverine. He's just a slight underdog at plus 165. He's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He did lose his last fight, but also 3-2 in his last 5 fights, and losing his last fight is Costa. Costa's 27 years old. Shailan is 30. Let's take a look. So both of them actually have a lot of experience. 7 KO, TKO, 6 submissions, 7 decision, but he's been knocked out twice, submitted twice. He's lost 3 fights via decision. 1-2 in the UFC, 1-1 in LFA. And again, did not look good against the fight against Steve Garcia. Beat Austin Lingo, but honestly, I expected him to at least finish that fight. Went to decision. And again, I was impressed with him against Thiago Moises, taking that fight on short notice. He looked good in the first round, and that's where I was kind of like, okay, this kid might have something, but still not convinced. He beat a decent guy in LFA, and he has some decent names on his resume as well, bouncing around a ton of regional promotions. Shailan out of Beijing. He's in his prime right now. He's 30 years of age, and talk about experience. He almost has 40 wins already. Now, he has been fighting a lot on the Asian regional scene, and as you guys know, with like Wulin Fang, JCK I will give credit to because they're a relatively newer Chinese promotion. They actually have a lot of talent in there. But especially like on the regionals in Wulin Fang, for example. Yeah, and I think Sangoku is another one. Chinwu Men, not the best competition. Now, you'll fight like a 5-1 guy, then you'll fight like a 1-3 guy. These guys just take any fight that they can get. However, 3-2 in the UFC is pretty impressive. 19 freaking knockouts.
Oh my God.
That's impressive as well. 10 submissions, 10 decisions. He's lost 6 times via decision, though. Via submission, though. I do want to highlight that. Lost to Steve Garcia in his last fight, got knocked out before then, was on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC. Not taking on the best competition by any means, but hey, 3-fight win streak in the UFC, still impressive. Here I am talking up JCK, and he fucking beat an 8-11 guy. JCK's a fun league. He lost to Rong Zhu in Wulin Fang. Rong Zhu's legit. He's actually back in the UFC as well. Is his record padded a bit? Absolutely. Does he have power in his mitts and a dangerous finisher? Absolutely. Who am I going with in this one? I'm going to go with Costa. But if he loses, and if he loses badly, my confidence in him, whatever confidence was left in him, is shot. I do think he is going to be way better at controlling the distance, or at least has the ability, given his size, given how good his kicks are, and how talented he is throwing those front kicks, throwing those high kicks, low kicks, and maybe shooting to the body to kind of bait his opponent a little bit and try to land that big high kick or whatever, some spinning kick. His kickboxing is sound. He's pretty good at scrambling as well. However, I do not think his opponent is going to wrestle him that much. He has no finishes in the UFC yet, so there's an asterisk. Cardio is a little suspect. But man, Shailan, his pocket boxing is nasty. He has huge and powerful overhands. Shoot, his step back hooks are nasty as well. And it's not like he doesn't have any grappling. It's just like he's going to keep this fight on the feet. Costa is the better grappler. And if Costa wants to utilize all of mixed martial arts and even, in my opinion, employ a sound game plan, it would be to, test it out on the feet. If he is getting into the pocket, if his opponent's moving in and out of the pocket well and actually getting the better of him on the feet, utilize that grappling, man. You're Brazilian. You are literally born. You came out of the womb in a gi and a couple stripes on your white belt. I don't know if you guys know this, but every Brazilian is born in a gi and a couple stripes on their white belt. I think this is a solid matchup, though, for both of them. Going Costa on this one. Let's move on to the next one. Then we'll get back to the live chat and see where you guys are at on these first 3 picks. We got Jeka Saragih against Westin Wilson. Westin Wilson is 35 years of age. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights on a 2-fight losing streak, and he's a pretty heavy underdog here. Let's take a look. Standing 6'1". He's got a huge reach of 73 inches as well. 5 KO, TKO, 11 submission, 0 decision. So you know what I will say about Mr. Westin? He fucking finishes all his fights. However, he has been submitted 4 times and lost 3 times via KO. And he's 0-3 in LFA, 0-2 in the UFC. Well, at least he has a win in Bellator back in 2017. Yeah, I got brutally put out by Jean Silva. Brutally put out by Joe Anderson Brito. And yeah, those are his first 2 UFC fights. Coming to the UFC, he'd be an 8-5 guy and tough enough. What are we doing here? 9-20. Oh my God. Should I keep scrolling? What's his best win? 6-3 guy? Like no joke. What's his best win? What the fuck? 1-14. Okay, man. I feel like I don't even have to. I'm gonna highlight this guy out of respect, but I feel like I don't even have to here. Tapology with their pop-up ads that aren't even showing an ad here. Jeka Saragih, 14-3 as a pro. He's out of the Indonesian regional scene, which I will say is they have better competition than a lot of the Chinese regional scene right now. 29 years of age, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, and he is a knockout machine, ladies and gentlemen. Just entering his prime in mixed martial arts as well. 9 KO, TKO, 4 submissions, 1 decision. He's 1-1 in the UFC and 11-2 and in 1 Pride MMA, which is an Indonesian regional promotion, where if you take a look at his resume, he's actually fought way better competition than his opponent, especially given where he was at. When he's 5-1, he fought a 4-1 guy. 6-1, he fought a 4-0 guy. 2-1, fought an 11-5 guy. Respect, man, taking a step up in competition so early in your pro MMA career. Lost his first pro fight too, then went on a little bit of a run. So that's cool to see. Lost to a 9-2 guy and to Jubilee. Where is Jubilee? Inside joke in my chat here. Look, we saw the Anshul Jubilee is nothing special, but whatever. He actually has some talent. He just gasses probably even more than Costa. Let's be perfectly honest. And then came back strong against Lucas Alexander and knocked him the fuck out. Dude, Jeka Saragih is going to brutally knock out Westin Wilson. He's explosive. He's explosive in his strikings. He comes in and out of the pocket quick, and if he doesn't come out of the pocket, he's just going to press you into the cage and try to finish you with big hooks. Quick hands, insane power. He just seems like he loves violence, and I love violence, so I love him. Did not crush complete cans. Like I said, they proved himself in the road to UFC and in the UFC that he is good. The only thing I can say is the only, I guess, thing that Westin Wilson has on him is better jiu-jitsu, if he can even get him to the ground, and range, right? A taller, lanky guy, but that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Jeka's going to win this one. Let's move on to the next one. But before that, let's check in the live chat here. Wilson doesn't even deserve to be in the UFC. What's up, Conor Gombean McGregor? I totally agree. Knutsson 100% takedown defense. Let's go. I see Swede wrestling the whole time. She's not a wrestler though. Tululin is the underdog. We're making money. Tululin's not even fighting today. But let's go. if there's anybody that I'm going to root for him to beat, it's not going to be the Iron Turtle. It's going to be Cedric Dumas. So, JL, fist bump there. We're on the same train. Again, shout out to Caleb Brink, JL, Anthony, Hockey from Home, Hernan, and of course, Connor Gombeen McGregor for joining us here today. All right, let's move on to the next one. Carli Judice against Gabriela Fernandes. Now, I'm breaking my friend Gravedigger Jones' rule. His rule is if you don't know much about the fighters, pick the Brazilian. In this case, I actually did some research. This girl likes to stay on her feet. She doesn't go for many takedowns. And her opponent is scrappy as fuck. Now, though Gabriela Fernandes has more pro experience than Carli Judice only being 3-1, she's from the motherfucking Bayou, bro. Like, the women that she's probably been fighting down in Louisiana are like, probably have more testosterone than most of the people in the live chat here. No joke. But in all seriousness, 3-1 as a pro, lost her last fight, split decision on Contender Series, and it was a scrap, ladies and gentlemen. It was an absolute scrap, and she hits hard. She's only 25 years of age. He lost in Contender Series, but knocked out 3 girls. One with a head kick, again, cans, but down in the Bayou, and does have some amateur experience as well, going 4-0 on the amateur scene. Now, Gabriela Fernandes, 8-3 as a pro, training out of a better gym. 2 KO, 3 submissions, 3 decisions. 3-0 in the LFA, 0-2 in the UFC thus far, going up against, honestly, decent competition. Jasmine Jazuevicius, 7-2 at the time. And Teresa Bleda, who is 6-1. She can get put up by either of those opponents, so like that is fine. And in LFA, not the best competition. Let's be perfectly honest. Didn't take on the best competition. I mean, Caroline Martin's okay with a 9-4 record, and then I'm not really going to judge her for anything else. She did have 1 fight on the amateur scene. Dude, straight out of the Bayou, I like this girl at plus 135. Let's get another knockout, baby. I am going with Carli Judice. Like I said, despite not having as much experience, she's got the power. 3 wins, all KOs at the pro level. And I even put in my notes here. Fighting in the Bayou, she's probably fought stronger women. I don't know. She had a great fight on Contender Series. It was a close fight despite her losing, so I think that's why the UFC is rewarding her here. But yeah, going with the underdog on this one, Carli Judice. What's up, Mateo? What's up, No Chill? What's up, Boone? What's up, Mr. Grant Gregory? Good to see you guys. I'll take you guys' comments here because I just missed them after going back here. Then we're gonna go through another chunk and I'll get back to the comments. All right. What's up? Judice is pretty underrated in this fight. Gabby is terrible, and Judice is a rare female with KO power. Judice is terrible too, though. Crispy. Mateo, how's your day going? Carli striking stats: 11 significant strikes landed per minute, 12 significant strikes absorbed per minute. Like I said, these Bayou gals are built different. Jimmy Flick is going to shock the world. Watch round 1 head kick. God, I wonder what the odds are on that. Good to see you, Mr. Grant Gregory. She wrestled gators. What's up, Denial? Oh, like I said, usually, if I don't know too much about the fighters, I go with the Brazilian. But, dude, if you're coming out of the Bayou knocking bitches out, bruh. I'm going to pick you. But that one's a dice roll. All right. We'll get through 2 or 3 more, then we'll get back to you guys' comments. But continue to comment away. I'll take your comments in the next little break here. Nate Maness against Jimmy the Brick Flick. Now, Jimmy Flick, man, what a crazy fight in his last one. He retired Malcolm Gordon, ladies and gentlemen. Malcolm Gordon, he had him early. And Jimmy Flick ends up posting the comeback and subs Malcolm Gordon and retires the Canadian. So that was a cool... That was just a cool situation, a cool fight, a cool storyline there for Jimmy Flick. But let's take a look at Nate Maness here. 15-3 as a pro. He's 3-2 in his last 5 fights. 32 years of age, so he's in his prime, especially with only having 18 pro fights. He won his last fight against a 10-1 guy. Beautiful KO TKO. Solid wrestling base, but actually has some good power in his mitts. 6 KO TKOs, 3 submissions, 6 decisions. Only been knocked out once, only been submitted once. 4-2 in the UFC, 4-0 in HR MMA, and 2-1 in the now defunct, the now Samurai MMA TKO. Lost to Tagir Ulanbekov, no shame in that. Lost to Umar Nurmagomedov, no shame in that. So the 2 guys that he lost to in the UFC were OVs, okay? And one of them being the undefeated Umar. He's on a 4-fight win streak before taking the Umar fight, beating some decent opponents, man. Tony Gravely, Luke Sanders, and the 10-0 Johnny Munoz Jr. We're going to just pretend that this one didn't happen. But even TKO, he fought Taylor Lapilu. Now, he lost in the 3rd round, but he just fought a lot better opponents. Man. Jimmy Flick, 33 years of age, has kind of been in and out of the game. Kind of one foot out the door at times, but he's back. I mean, he took a long layoff. He was even hinting at retiring. He's 17-7 as a pro. We know what Jimmy Flick is good at. He has some nasty submissions, ladies and gentlemen. 0 KO TKO. He's lost 6 times. via KO TKO, but he's never been submitted, and he's submitted motherfuckers 15 times, only 2 decisions. So he goes out on his shield. 2-2 in the UFC, 3-0 in LFA, 1-0 in Bellator, and 1-0 off Contender Series. He was actually at Fury Pro Grappling 9 where he had a draw. We streamed that, by the way, as we cover it all here on the Stay Light Project YouTube channel. Great comeback win against Malcolm Gordon. Brutal loss to Costa. Brutal loss to Charles Jourdain. And he took, 3 years off between that time. We were supposed to fight Jeff Molina and Francisco Figueiredo. Those were canceled, and he just took some time off there and was contemplating retiring. Before then, he did have a good win streak. Like, he earned his spot in the UFC. Some good wins, like I said, coming off that arm triangle choke to Greg Fisher, that amazing arm triangle choke to Nate Smith, and then the flying triangle choke, which will forever be on like UFC highlight reels against Cody Durden. But does he still have it? I'm going to say no, man. Nate Maness ain't a washed Malcolm Gordon. I'm going with Nate Maness on this one. He's a good wrestler, decent power. I just don't think Flick will be able to get that crazy sub on him. But as Mr. Grant Gregory said, watch Jimmy Flick come out here and just land like a head kick in the first round. That would be absolutely insane. Nate Maness has okay hands. Well-rounded, way more well-rounded than that of Jimmy Flick. Again, guys, we'll get back to your comments here shortly, but let's get through at least one more. Adam Fugitt. I wish his name was pronounced Fugitt, because that would be hilarious. Up against Josh Quinlan. Adam Fugitt, the former kickboxer, if I'm not mistaken, 9-4 as a pro. So not the best pro record, but he's 3-2 in his last 5 fights, losing his last fight to Mike Malott. Mike Malott just tore through him. Josh Quinlan, 6-2 as a pro. So again, not the most impressive resume yet either. Still building his resume in early entry into the UFC. Lost his last 2 fights, one against Danny Barlow where he got knocked out, and one against Trey Waters. But he's a tough son of a bitch, man. He's a tough son of a bitch. 31 years of age. He is the favorite at -125. 4 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 0 decisions. That's what you like to see, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you like to see. 1-2 in the UFC, 3-0 in LFA. No contest on Contender Series because he pissed hot, ladies and gentlemen. He pissed hot. Beat Jason Witt, as you should, upon entering the UFC. And then, lost to Trey Waters and Danny Barlow now that he's off the sauce. Decent rise. I really like this win up against going up against a 6-3 guy when you're only 3-0 and knocking him out in the 3rd round. And he did have a decent amateur career as well in Tough Enough and Real MMA, which, by the way, dude, Tough Enough has been around for so long now. They still put on amazing shows. They're a great regional promotion. Dude, Ronda Rousey fought her amateur fights in Tough Enough. So, like, good on Tough Enough for still going strong, man. I highly recommend, if you guys like regional MMA, check out some of their shows. Vince Morales was headlining one of their last shows, and honestly, that was one of the best regional shows I've seen in 2024 this year. 6 fights, an hour and 40 minutes. That's how many great finishes there were on that card. But I digress. Adam Fugitt, 35 years old. He's getting up there in age. 5 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 1 decision. 1-2 in the UFC, 1-1 in LFA. Like I said, Mike Malott tore through him. My boy Kinoshita, he absolutely destroyed him. Lost to Michael Morales with no shame in that. He was 13-0. Beat Solomon Renfro in LFA. That's a good win. Like, Fugitt has power. He's just not quick. You know, he has power. He has really good technique, but he just seems slower than most of these guys at this level. And Josh Quinlan's a dog, man. So I'm going to go with Josh Quinlan on this one. I really wanted to pick Fugitt, but I just can't. He's not as fast. He's not as good of a grappler. Josh Quinlan is well-rounded, willing to go into deep water, willing to go to war, a better resume in mixed martial arts. But if Fugitt does win, we're starting the hashtag Stop Asian Hate for what he did to Kinoshita. I'm just saying. We're going with Josh Quinlan on this one. All right. Next one, we'll highlight it in a moment, but let's get back to the comments here. The Guru Flood was incredible last night. Yes, shout out to the MMA Guru and everybody who subscribed, who donated. You guys are fucking awesome, man. Sauceless Josh. Malott versus Magny was still one of my favorite fights. Bro, that was insane. That was absolutely insane. Look, Malott's a Canadian, so, you know, I root for him, but fucking rights, Neil Magny. Mr. Grant and I were losing our minds. What's up, Ready Samedi? Appreciate you. Beating Wit is a rite of passage, like becoming the middleweight champion by knocking out Derek Brunson. What's up, Crippled Ham? UFC needs some sort of Asian headquarter as an excuse to allow soccer kicks and spiking in some events. God, you're speaking my language. You know what, though? One of my friends recently, Jay Krish at Focus Fights, he recently interviewed like the Hunter Campbell of Ryzen. The guy who's going to be taking over for Saki Kabara when Bara does retire. And he said they're making a very big push and making a lot of efforts to try to get the Ryzen rule set sanctioned in various states and provinces in Canada. So they're working on it. Ilcat, it's great to see you, buddy. Quinlan popped on Contender Series, then popped again in his debut. How he still has a job after that, I have no clue, especially only being like a 6-2 fighter. Now, he should be, 7, but you know what I mean. Fugitt, I go for him. Going with the steroid cheat on this one. I got Nate 1-round KO. What's up, Sven? Crippled Ham, Cuamba has a childlike face, but is a killer in the cage. He does. You should trust me on this. Did Molina get cut? Haven't seen him booked since the whole leaked video of him. No, well, he was affiliated with James Krause, so he is not allowed to fight in the UFC. 3rd consecutive day of 12-hour commentary. You know it, buddy. What's up, Adesanya has a right tit. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us last night, buddy. He's rated so high because he lost a good competition. That's it. My predictions based on face: Knutsson, Costa, Saragih, Fernandes, Jimmy Flick, Josh Quinlan, Asu, Almabaev, Lucas Almeida, Miles Johns, and Tatsuro. I'm happy, Taira. Plus 410 on the brick is nuts. Wonder where they got that line. Flick does work on his stand-up and got a world-renowned kickboxer in her corner. Just wait and see. Dog. I came to listen to you while I drive home from D-Town. Let's go. Appreciate you, Denial. Jimmy Flick, enjoyer, stand up. Tapuri is such a copycat. You got Flick as well. Let's go. Hey, what's up, Russ? Good to see you, buddy. Ryzen and 1 rule set is legal in Colorado. I think that's the only one. Ryzen should not rival UFC. Probably higher chance of them rivaling Ryzen and teaming up with UFC for cross-promotion. UFC should implement the superior rule set. Duh. Almabaev, I think, will be a future champ. Lock it in. I like it. I didn't. And I'm not even gonna have time to go today. I'm running out of food. I I got a few things I can snack on here today, but it's we're going just coffee, no food here today, ladies and gentlemen. I got it messed up. Ryzen should not rival UFC, should instead rival ONE FC. Yes, sorry. That's what I figured. And they kind of are right now. They kind of are, especially with Shatri taking jabs at like Japanese kickboxers and MMA fighters. Ryzen's producing some good talent, especially now that they're bringing in more international talent. Like Ryzen 47 featured the most international talent on a card since the World Sickness. Samir Dress will send you a pizza. You've done enough, Mr. Grant Gregory, and I'm sorry it took me so long to make you a mod. Like if anything, I owe you. I got to start jumping in your live streams again. I just didn't know how active you were there, and I've been missing your Wednesday podcast live. So I'm gonna make an effort, man. I'm gonna make an effort. The one's never gonna cross promote. No. Shachi's a clown. K1 kickboxing, July 7th. Man, it's about to end my edging streak. Bro, the world max Buakaw. My goodness, I'm so freaking stoked. Karate Combat's on his way to being one of the most exciting rule sets. That is true. I love how like you can follow through with the ground strikes for a few seconds as well. Yeah, Karate Combat's awesome, man. Karate Combat's awesome. Anthony, he's holding the flag he's waving the flag for Karate Combat, and I love it. Anthony, actually, you were telling me that you host watch parties to get like your friends into Karate Combat. K1 versus BKFC versus Ryzen in 2025, bro. It's amazing. And you know, people dog on me for being like the Ryzen stan, and that's fine. That's fine. It's just I am more entertained by Ryzen than the UFC. I am. And the fact that they are putting on cross promotion shows with Road FC in Korea, BKFC now, rekindling their relationship with KSW. Bro, you can watch a Ryzen card that has like 3 fights where it's Ryzen fighters versus Road FC fighters, Ryzen fighters versus BKFC fighters in Bare Knucks, and now KSW fighters as well. It's really cool. It's really cool. Imagine it ends with them announcing Crow Crop's son for the K1 Grand Prix. Holy shit, that maybe Wanderlei Silva returning for one last CTE run. Let's be real, we don't want cross-promotion in MMA. Shit will devolve into the belts mess that boxing has. Well, I just like take the belts out of it. Like you can have a Grand Prix where like the belt's not on the line, right? Hey, what's up, Kari? Good to see you. By the way, my boy Kari is making some amazing content on YouTube as well. What's up? Say Life Project tapping in from Sacramento to LA. Let's go. I want to be KFC versus BYB cross-promotion. American Bare Knuckle versus UK Bare Knucks. I'll probably have it on like my phone. But I'm not going to be hosting like a stream for it. I love the Ryzen versus Bellator crossover events. Yeah, in the early days before ONE FC, or sorry, ONE Championship. Now, when ONE was ONE FC, before they became ONE Championship, they would do cross promotion with Ryzen, but they eliminated the grounded kicks, the soccer kicks, and they adjusted a few of their rule sets. Because the Ryzen rule set is the best rule set, is the superior rule set. It's way better than ONE's. What are they fighting for in the Grand Prix? Would have to be a lot more than the PFL 1 million. Oh, yeah, dude, we're talking like Yakuza money here. We're talking like Yakuza money. It's only 5 rounds, so it will be shit. In terms of middle of 2024 right now, Ryzen, BKFC, ONE FC lacks with their recent events, but I'll be lying if I say that it was exciting. ONE FC lacks the crowd atmosphere and the adrenaline rush. Yep, Bellator is an event booked for Japanese New Year's Eve. Got to be another Bellator versus Ryzen. Yep. But you know what? Ryzen, Saki Kabara said that he's going to start, he's going to bring back the Grand Prix. And they might do it in like team format, like Road FC versus Ryzen versus KSW versus whatever. You know, maybe like Alash Pride or Octagon with a K in Kazakhstan, which, fuck, man, that's like a little mini like World Cup. That's like a little mini like Olympics of fighting, which it's just super cool that like Ryzen is truly a federation, not a league. Absolutely. Same way, you know, they are Ryzen, Dream, and Pride FC are 100% goated in regards to their New Year's shows, but you got to show some love to Noki Bombaye as well. The risk for UFC fighters to fight other champions and get mauled and ruining the UFC's best narrative means they need that boxing money. Well, and that's why Dana White will never do it. He learned his lesson after the Chuck Liddell incident. Grand Prix is better than PFL seasons. Team format wouldn't work. Well, I mean, it's not like you're going to get I'm not talking IFL. Like at the end of the day, it's not like points. It's just like what I'm saying is you're not going to have Road FC guys versus Road FC guys unless you get to the semifinals or finals. So I wholeheartedly disagree, Ilcat. And if you watched Ryzen, you would know as well. They literally did a Ryzen versus Road FC, not on 47, but on their 46 card. And Road FC came out on top, baby, 2-1. PFL point system is dumb. Should just be a standard bracket. Yeah, I'm not talking the IFL route, buddy. I'm not talking the IFL route. And we know MMA promotions aren't that generous with their money. Shout out to the Yakuza. I want Ares versus KSW versus Ryzen. X Game is trying to save itself with a team format. Uh-oh. I don't know, like I've seen it work on Ryzen cards. I'm not talking IFL team format. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking just like fighters from this promotion up against fighters from this promotion. Let's see who has bragging rights at the end of that card. Team formats in individual sports generally fail. Absolutely. Adam, my friend, is fighting co-main event in the local NAC Muay Thai tournament. Excited for him. Give him a heads up since there's more research material of him than his opponent. Let's go. Insert 5v5 we just saw. Bro, I'm down for 2v1 though. Shout out Eddie Hall. By the way, Eddie Hall made a call out to Pujanowski. Pujanowski accepted. Now, where is this going to take place? Is it going to be a Fight Circus event, or is KSW actually going to jump on this? Because KSW, as a little bit more proper than some of these other crazy promotions out in Europe and out in Asia, they're willing to do some freak show fights, baby. Oh, sorry. The 5. Yes. My mind just went to freaking like the Fight Circus. Eddie Hall versus Demetrius Johnson and Brendan Schaub. Yeah, Eddie Hearn got dragged. Eddie Hall versus 125ers. Book it. Done. Oh, man. You guys are fucking awesome. This is a great... I love interacting with you guys in the live chat here. We'll have plenty of time for that at the end of the stream and later today as well. But let's keep on going with these predictions, and I'll get back to the live chat after we get through a chunk of them, all right? After the next 3, we'll get back to the live chat. All right. Keep the comments coming. If I miss any, I'll try to get back to them as soon as possible when we take our next little break. You guys are fucking awesome. Smash that like button. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us here Saturday morning. Almabaev. Why is that so hard to pronounce? Almabaev against Jose Johnson. It's because I haven't gone through my coffee yet. Still waking up. Jose Johnson, 16-8 as a pro. And I ask you guys, how the fuck is this guy making 125? 6 feet tall. His 71 and a half inches of reach. He's the heavy underdog at plus 405. 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Like I said, 16-8. 8 KO TKOs, 3 submissions, 5 decisions. He's been submitted 4 times, and he's going up against a freaking submission and wrestling beast. 1-1 in the UFC, 1-1 in LFA, 1-1 in Contender Series. Beat Chad and Hilliger? I forgot how to pronounce his name. 12-6. Who cares? We're not even going to be talking about him anymore. Lost him on Black Shavir, that twister, which was so badass. Be a 10-0 guy on Contender Series to earn his way into the UFC. And Jack Cartwright is actually a pretty good, well-rounded fighter, so respect there. But 4-1 guy on Fury, 6-0 guy when you're 12-7, like that's fine. He's undefeated. I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's just like when he took steps up in competition, he'd either look really good on the regionals or would not look good at all. Like being knocked out by Mana Martinez, who's 7-2. That's fine, whatever. But losing to Ronnie Lawrence when you were 11-5, like come on, man, come on. What else? Anything else really impressive on his resume? He's beaten a lot of like 7-1, 7-2 guys. But yeah, overall, just haven't been really impressed by him. His striking's good. His grappling is not the greatest. And he's clearly a weight bully, given that he's standing 6 feet tall. And even cutting down to 135, let alone 125, is absolutely insane. Especially going against an absolute killer in Almabaev, who's 19-2 as a pro, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He's in his prime, 30 years of age. 3 KO TKO, 9 submissions, 7 decisions. He's been submitted once, and he lost a decision. He's never been knocked out. 2-0 in the UFC, 2-0 in ACB. But check out his resume, man. This guy's not been crushing cans. Great win against CJ Vergara. Beat Ode Osborne. This guy in Brave, whatever. 21-10 guy, 4-0, 10-1, 10-3, 14-4. When he was 8-2, 9-2, beat a 5-0 guy, 5-1. 9-5 when he's 5-2. Like, has he crushed cans on his resume? Yes. But he actually has a lot of big, not big names, but decent opponents to back up his skills. He lost to Tagir Ulianbekov, who won't be fighting on this card, unfortunately. Feel bad for his opponent there. You got another fight canceled, man. These guys just cannot make weight. Feel bad for Joshy. Joshy boy. Feel bad for him. He's just been going scorched earth on Twitter, by the way. But anyways, we aren't here to talk about that fight. We're here to talk about this Kazakhstani wrecking ball, man. 9 submissions. He's got power, but he's just a wrecking ball when it comes to control. And he's just good everywhere. So, yeah, going with Asu over here. Insane grappling, explosive style, developed in good promotions overseas. I guess I didn't even really highlight the promotions that he developed in, but if you take a look here, Brave, Neza, which Neza's an underrated promotion, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually really good. M1 as well, Fight Night Global. Like, these are solid promotions to develop in. Good resume. And Jose Johnson, he's been dominated by grapplers before. He's a big boy. But, yeah, I think he's going to get absolutely destroyed here by Asu. And I understand why he's the heavy favorite. Again, we'll get back to the live chat after these next 2 rundowns. We have Garrett Armfield against Brady Hiestand. Garrett Armfield, 10-3 as a pro, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He is the favorite at -195, only 27 years of age. Brady Hiestand, Bam Bam. Oh, man, I don't know if he's quite the Bam Bam style, but anyways, we'll take it. We'll take it. 7-2 as a pro, 3-2 in his last 5 fights, and he's on a 2-fight win streak out of Spokane Valley in Washington. Love Spokane, by the way. He was on the Ultimate Fighter, Volkanovski, and Ortega, which he was a standout there, but he lost to Ricky Turcio. 3 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 2 decisions. Fought in Conquest Cage and the UFC. As far as the notable promotions that he's fought in anything else of note? Not really. Since losing to Ricky Turcios on Contender Series, though, split decision. It's not like Ricky Turcios dominated him by any means. He did come back and beat a 10-2 guy and a 12-4 guy, respectively, and even knocked out this guy over here. Has he fought since? No, this guy hasn't even fought since. So 2 good wins upon entering the UFC. As an amateur, he went 5-1. And not taking on the best guys, but finishing all his opponents on the amateur scene. I do like Brady Hiestand, but I just think Garrett Armfield is better. I think his striking is better. I think he throws more power. He's faster, more explosive. Now, Hiestand does have good grappling. He does have good jiu-jitsu, but Garrett Armfield has really good wrestling, and he's good at countering just those jiu-jitsu heavy grapplers. He had a great win against Brad Katona, which that was actually a really good fight. That was a really good fight. He kept forcing Brad Katona to get up off me, bro. Not to clinch with him and actually fight him like a man. 6 KO TKOs, 2 submissions, 2 decisions. He's never been knocked out, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 in the UFC, 0-1 in LFA. Yeah, I really liked his win against Brad Katona. His Brad Katona, if I'm not mistaken, won the first round. And then the second round was close, but Garrett Armfield looked so good in the third round. And look, I'm a Canadian. I like rooting for Brad Katona, but I was fucking happy for Garrett Armfield in that one. Beat Toshiomi Kazama, who was 10-3, and he knocked him the fuck out. Lost to David Onama, but David Onama's fine. Was on a 3-fight win streak before that. Shamrock, where he crushed a Ken. I don't like the split decision against a 6-3 guy, but he's only 6-2 at that point. So am I really going to judge him too hard? No. And then beat a 10-5 guy in FAC. Also fought in Cage Fury UFC, man. He's developed in some good promotions. Now, has he crushed cans? Absolutely. Absolutely. His resume upon entering the UFC is not super impressive, but upon entering the UFC, it's like, holy fuck, this guy's actually really good. So I'm going with Garrett Armfield on this one. He's tough. He's scrappy. He's an excellent boxer. Guys, I'll get back to your comments here in a sec. I see a lot more people have joined, and I appreciate you. We're just going to get through one more fight here that we'll highlight, and then we'll take your guys' comments before we get to the last two. Though Brady Hiestand's a solid grappler, I think Garrett Armfield is very, very well-rounded, has good takedown defense, and furthermore is good at getting back up to his feet. This might be a scrambly fight, guys. And again, I praised him for his good win against Brad Katona. Hiestand's good, just not as good in the striking. But he is longer and he has a little bit of range on him. He's taller by 2 inches, and I think he's only 1 inch of reach. Okay, I thought he would have 2 or 3 inches of reach. So does have a little bit of the reach advantage, but yeah, we're going with Garrett Armfield on this one. USA. I guess Hiestand's American too, but Garrett Armfield just seems like more of an American. Let's fucking go. All right. We'll get back to the comments after this. I promise, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate every single one of you. We have Timmy Cuamba against Lucas Almeida. Now, I got to give this guy props. Took his last fight to enter the UFC on short notice and up a weight class and didn't get dominated. He lost the fight, but it went to a split decision. I do think he lost the fight. His opponent did more damage, but he fucking scrapped, man. So I got a lot of respect for Timmy. 8-2 as a pro. He's the pretty big favorite here, surprisingly, at -200. 4 KO TKOs, never been knocked out. 0 submissions, only been submitted once. 4 decisions. 0-1 in the UFC, but he's got that contract now, baby. 1-0 off Contender Series. And yeah, lost to a legit opponent as well. A guy who was a lot bigger than him and who was 8-1 going into that. Before then, he went on a really good win streak, to be perfectly honest. When he was 3-1, he beat a 2-1 guy. When he was 4-1, okay, he beat a 4-5 guy. When he's 5-1, beat a 3-1 guy. Like, I don't necessarily judge fighters on their opponents until they've hit 5 pro fights. Then it's like, okay, now you should start trying to take a fight if you can against guys of higher level. 6-1, he goes up against an 8-2 Mateo Vogel, who Mateo Vogel beat the best guys on the Canadian regional scene to earn that Contender Series spot. And our boy Timmy didn't get a contract on Contender Series, which I think he should have. Went back to the regional scene and beat the fuck out of Michael Stack, who was 7-2 at the time, and then in a based move took that UFC contract, that 4-fight deal that burns one off, taking the fight on short notice, and had a really good performance. So I was really impressed with him. But he's got a hard task ahead of him. He's got Lucas Almeida, who's 14-3 as a pro, and has only lost his only 3 fights in his last 5 outings, which take note of that. Is it the beginning of the decline? We shall see. He's the underdog at +165. Like I said, 14-3, 33 years of age, 9 KO TKO, 5 submissions, 0 decisions. That's what you like to see. 1-2 in the UFC, 0-1 on Contender Series. Lost to Andre Fili, which I did not think that was going to happen. Shout out to Andre Fili. Knocked him out with that right hook, and it was a devastating right hook. And lost to Pat Sabatini, got out-grappled by him. Before then, beat Trizano. Trizano's fine. Trinidad, who he's fine as well in jungle fights, and lost to Daniel Zellhuber on Contender Series. Daniel Zellhuber, though he may not be that blue chip prospect that we all thought he was, he is still a very, very good young fighter. So his 3 losses were to pretty good guys. I mean, you can say what you want about Philly. He either looks really good and goes to war, or he gets dominated, right? There's kind of no in between. But I do like watching Andre Fili fight. And overall, his resume is pretty good. I do like Jungle Fight. That is a good promotion. Has he crushed some cans? Yeah, 7-0 going up against 2-4. See, that's the kind of type of stuff that I don't like. If you're at 7 pro fights already, especially undefeated, take someone at least 5-1, 4-1, not someone who's 2-4. But hey, maybe it was the only fight that he could get. On the other side, though, 4-0 taking a 7-1 guy, 3-0 taking a 4-1 guy. I do like that. And he went on a run where he was just knocking guys out or finishing guys left, right, and center, flying knees as well. He is dangerous, man. He is dangerous. But Timmy's tough. And I'm going with him. I'm going with Timmy. Sorry, I watched too much South Park. He's younger. He's got decent hands. I talked about his last loss and how it was a close fight up a weight class on short notice. He's pretty well-rounded. He's been very active both in the amateurs and the pros in the last 3 to 4 years. Almeida, very well-rounded as well. I don't like him getting finished twice recently, though, especially after a long layoff. And again, his 3 losses were in his last 5 fights. So maybe it's the start of the decline, and that's tough when you're going up against a young guy. Before we get to the co-main, and yes,
Emotional, damn it.
this is the co-main. Let's get back to your guys' comments. I'm going to try to get them all in order here. Eddie Hall is a king of the streets. It would be so peak underground fighting. Holy shit. Gets chinned and Mighty Mouse is thrown out of the cage. Asu is a lock. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Good to see you, AMD. Too many casuals in the chat? I don't think so, Ilcat. Ilcat's taking shots at the chat here. King of the Streets is for Mouth Breathers Promotions. Not going to last long before they get with wrongful death lawsuit. I'd rather have a 5-year-old prodigy than Shab. Mighty Mouth betrayed Shab WWE style, and it becomes a 2 versus 1 against Shab. You know how I feel about him. The narrative would be the pay-per-view price. Jose Johnson has a 37% takedown defense. It ain't good. It ain't good. UFC's Asu averaging a 7.1 takedowns per minute. How is that possible? How is that possible? That's why they have 5 fight minimum on the UFC stats. A bad month for cancels. Yeah. What's up, the boys? MMA. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it just hasn't been a good. I would say overall, it hasn't been a good year for the UFC. But they still got time to redeem themselves. I don't know how they're going to, given that some of these summer shows have been. But yeah, this month in particular, it has not been good. Good to see you, the boys. MMA. Thank you so much for joining us last night. Watch that Tagir fight. Azu tap to strikes like a little bitch. I'll check it out. What's up, Bo? Right, but he still got 11 takedowns in 2 fights. Frat boy matchup. Armfield all day. I don't know much about the guy, but Bam Bam. There's only one Bam Bam. Ilcat, why are you taking shots in the chat here, dude? We should have 30+ likes by now. Yeah, guys, smash that like button. Almeida is one of those guys that is gonna go 0-6 before getting cut. Apex cards are my favorite, and he's calling us the casuals. Bet the whole house on Lucas Almeida. Let's go. Fuck, guys, I'm already losing my voice, and we have like 2 whole days worth of streaming. Felix a good fighter with a bad chin. John sucks. What's up, Jesse? Can't believe De Silva's the dog. I know, slight dog though. We'll get there. Silva de Andrade, 2nd round KO. Charles Barkley, great to see you, buddy. How are you? Yeah, he's very rounded. I'm going with Douglas, but it's not a lock. Love you, brother. Got to head off. Talk to you later. Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Grant Gregory. Appreciate you and all the support you show the channel. Hey, I just want to say, you guys are fucking awesome. Thank you to everybody in the live chat right now. I appreciate you all. Thanks for getting your comments in as well. Like, look, I don't claim to be any expert with MMA. I'm just a fucking MMA junkie. I watch a stupid amount of regional MMA and a stupid amount of combat sports, and I just love hanging out with you guys talking about this amazing sport. You guys are more of the experts. Ilcat's calling me a casual. I am a casual, I guess. Ilcat, call me a casual, Ilcat. I don't give a fuck. The only reason I do these streams is because you guys asked for it, and it's fun to learn from you guys in the live chat. So I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Who's the lock on the card? Honestly, there's not many. It's an interesting card. I would say probably it's Asu, Almabaev. But other than that, who's your guys' other lock on the card? Good to see you, Manny. Johns is a juicer. Fuck him. Best commentator in the game. Oh, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. But I don't see John Anik anywhere. You guys are fucking awesome. Like I said, thank you so much for joining us this morning. In 1 hour, we will be back, by the way, to do a fight companion for that boxing card, and then after that UFC. So Stick around, like and subscribe. Let's fucking go. All right, last 2 fights here. Then we're going to go over our degenerate and safe parlay of the week, brought to you by our friend Volcan, although there's not really any safe parlay of the week. My lock, I'm so happy. What is up, 4 Ounce of Freedom? Isha's my financial advisor. Uh-oh. Asu's my lock too. Excited for Ben Whitaker, but what about you? Yes, I'm actually very excited to see him fight as well. Saragih is the lock for me. KO power versus a guy who's chinny. Pretty simple. Hey, great fucking point. Great fucking point. He's another good lock. Didn't know Johns was a Reuter. Good to see you, Jesse. Good to see you. All right, guys. I'll take the rest of your comments after we get through these last 2 fights. Keep the comments coming, though. Keep the comments coming. Evenly matched opponents so they make the best fights. Absolutely, King James. Absolutely. Unless you're in Japan, because the one-sided affair usually ends with a soccer kick. Chef's kiss. All right. Like I said, keep commenting. I will get to them when I can. Hey, what's up, Robert? Good to see you. Looks like I'm going to be late for the UFC card. Attaboy, Anthony. Attaboy. Good to see you, Robert. Thank you so much for stopping in. We'll get to the rest of your guys' comments after we get through these last 2 fights, ladies and gentlemen. Again, big shout out to everybody joining us in the live chat today. You guys are fucking awesome.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
Miles Johns against Douglas Silva de Andrade. Silva, 29-5 as a pro, 38 years of age, but it is but a number, ladies and gentlemen, because he does not look nor fight like a 38-year-old. He still looks like a fucking spring chicken. 3-2 in his last 5 fights and a great win in his last fight. 20 KO, TKOs, 2 submissions, 7 decision. Guys, he's only been finished twice in his pro MMA career. He's only been finished twice. One knockout, 1 submission. His other 3 losses have been via submission. He's 7-5 in the UFC, 13-0-1 in Pitbull Fight Championship. Damn, he was loyal to the Pitbull Fight Championship between 2007 and 2012. Jeez. And he fought a little bit in Jungle Fight as well. I like Jungle Fight. I think it's a really good Brazilian regional show. Had a great win against Cody Stamen in his last fight. Lost to Said Nurmagomedov, but Said Nurmagomedov couldn't put him away. Excuse me. And he had some good moments in that one as well. Beat Morozov, dominated him. Beat a 15-6 guy. I mean, these guys aren't the best, but he dominated them. He knocked one out and choked out the other. Lost to Lerone Murphy in a close decision. Yeah, I went unanimous to Lerone Murphy, but he had Lerone Murphy not looking too good in certain moments in that fight. So actually, I was very pleasantly surprised to see how he looked in that one despite the loss. Beat 34-8 guy, whatever. Lost Piotr Jan, no shame in that. Getting guillotined by Rob Font, I will say that's a little suspect, but hey, that was back in 2017, so we'll forget about that. Not a good win against Marlon Vera. Overall, he has a good resume throughout his entire pro MMA career. Now, I don't like going up against a 2-0 guy, but fucking knocked out 2 other guys in Jungle Fight. And man, he paid his dues before coming to the UFC. Now, did he crush a bunch of cans in that Pitbull League? Probably, since a lot of them you can't even see their record. But upon coming to the UFC, man, tough as nails. He's got that old man strength. And doesn't look his age. And he's going up against Miles Johns, who has knockout power. Let's be perfectly honest. Has knockout power. The odds are really close in this one. Silva de Andrade being the slight underdog at -120. Miles Johns being the slight favorite at -145. He's 30 years of age. He is 3-1-1 in his last 5 fights. Out of 4 to MMA. 4 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 8 decisions. He has knockout power. Yeah, he has 8 decisions, but he does, when Miles Johns is winning the fight, he's dominating and he's hurting his opponent. But he relies on his striking a lot. 5-2-1 in the UFC, 4-0 in the LFA, and 1-0 off Contender Series. He beat Cody Gibson, but wasn't able to put him out. There was that no contest against Dan Argueta. Beat Vince Morales, which is a good win, as Vince Morales, upon being cut from the UFC, has just been dominating the regional scene. Lost to John Castaneda, arm triangle choke. See, I don't really like that, as John Castaneda is very much more, he's well-rounded, but he's a better boxer than anything. Beat Anderson Dos Santos, who's 21-8 at the time. Kevin Natividad. I mean, he was 9-1. That was actually a pretty good win. Lost to Mario Bautista, 7-0-7-1. Like, honestly, his resume is good, man. I can't dog him too much. I really can't dog him too much. If this wasn't the co-main event, I would say it was a good matchup. Good matchup for a fight night card. But fuck, why is it the co-main event? Well, we know why it's co-main event because there's a bunch of cancellations. And to be honest, even before the cancellations, it's not like this card was unbelievable anyways. All right, to my pick. We're going with the old man strength. We're going with Douglas Silva de Andrade. Despite the age, he's looked very good against solid opponents, no less. He's well-rounded. He's tough. He still has a chin. And he's only been finished twice, like I said. I just don't trust Miles Johns to finish this guy, just despite his age. But I will say, Miles Johns' recent win against Morales is very good, given the fact that Morales has still got it. And Morales still looks UFC level on the regionals. All right. Main event of the evening, then we'll get back to you guys' comments. Thank you for your patience. We have I'm happy! Tatsuro Taira, 15-0. He is undefeated as a pro, going up against Alex Perez, Alex Perez is only 32 years of age, guys. He's still relatively young, despite having a lot of wear and tear with how many fights? He has 33 pro fights. He's 25-8 as a pro, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. But I will say, losing to Figueiredo and Alexandre Pantoja, no shame in that. Shame in losing to Mokaev, though, because though Mokaev, I still think he's a good prospect and is talented. He's got pillow hands and he's a good grappler. He's good wrestling, but it has been exposed in certain cases. Because, like, even in his wins, like, we're not praising him for his wins like we were when he, like, shot onto the scene. Do I still think he has, like, potential to get better? Absolutely. But out of the 3 losses, Mokaev is the one where I think Perez probably, like, wants to get back the most. Great win against Mateus Nicolau. I think most people thought that Nicolau was going to win that one, and Perez landed that beautiful right hook and knocked him the fuck out. Perez is pretty good in the scrambles as well. He does have decent grappling. 6 KO, TKO, 7 submissions, 12 decisions. A very balanced resume there. 7-4 in the UFC, 1-0 Contender Series. I mean, he's the cancel fight king, as we know, though. Yeah, his resume is pretty good, man. His resume is pretty good. 11-1 guy, 14-6, 23-7, yeah, whatever. But at least he finished him. And he's only lost to really good opponents. Joseph Benavidez, Davison Figueiredo, Alex Pantoja, and then, yeah, I guess Mokaev was the only outlier there in the UFC anyways. I've always liked Perez. I've just kind of been apathetic on him recently because of all these canceled bouts. And then he lost to Pantoja, then he lost to Mokaev, and I was like, all right, Nicolau's going to beat him in impressive win against Nicolau. But this kid's impressive, and he's better than Mokaev. He's better than Mokaev. Is he a better straight grappler, straight wrestler than Mokaev? No. But does he have way more tools in his arsenal? Yes, he's a better striker, though striking still isn't his bread and butter. He's got better jiu-jitsu, and he's more scrambly. Like, he's good at getting out of positions, and he's good at getting back into positions when his opponent reverses. And how based was it when he's just landing those fucking elbows, looking at Herb Dean being like, am I allowed to do this? As he's just elbowing that guy's fucking face in, man. He's the favorite here, but minus 205. That seems a little bit high, given that it's prospect on the rise, undefeated against a veteran who is dangerous. But I do like Tatsuro Taira, 24 years of age, man. Even if he does, like, even when and if he gets his first loss soon, like, he's still gonna be considered like a prospect that the UFC is gonna continue to push. Excuse me, I don't know if that was like a sneeze or a cough or something, or both. 4 KO, TKO, 7 submissions, 4 decisions. What a great balanced resume too from a young prospect. 5-0 in the UFC, and he didn't develop in like deep or, you know, lower level Japanese promotions. Shuto Japan is legit, and he went 9-0. Beat Carlos Hernandez, who actually like isn't chinny. That's my roommate's friend, by the way, is Carlos Hernandez, and he knocked him the fuck out. Edgar Chairez, people were dogging Taira, be like, oh, well, Edgar Chairez actually like took him in the deep water a little bit. Dude, Edgar Chairez is a damn good grappler, okay? And he still ended up beating him. Wasn't able to finish him, but he still ended up beating him. And then look at the other names he has in the UFC. 9-1, 10-3, 8-1, you know, at the time. Solid guys, man. Solid guys. And even in Shuto, his last little run in Shuto, he was beating legit guys. Now, the 1-3, we're going to pretend that didn't happen, but he was only 5-0 at that time. 6-0 goes up against a guy who's very experienced. And 13-5 guy. 7-1 where he's 4-0. Bro, like, you look at some of these Asian prospects, some of these even Japanese prospects. The Chinese prospects, they definitely crush more cans. But even some of the Japanese prospects who come over, like, his resume is fucking awesome. Like, there's a reason why he's a highly touted prospect. And there's a reason why he's been dominating his competition for the most part in the UFC. Having said that, I'm not super confident in picking him here based on just Alex Perez's experience, but I am going to go with the favorite. I am going to go with Tatsuro Taira. Again, not super confident, but I do think he can get it done. Perez does have way better striking, but Taira has way better grappling. He's strong. Like I said, he's better than Mokaev, more well-rounded, more tools, both in the grappling department and just as a MMA fighter overall. Perez is not old, though. Despite the wear and tear, he's not old, and he still has it, man. He still has it. He's only lost to solid guys in the UFC. I'm going Taira on this one. All right, before we get back to the comments here and wrap up the show, because I need to take a quick break before we jump back on for another Fight Companion in 40 or in 50 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. My friend Volkan always likes me to make a degenerate and safe parlay of the week. There's not really a bona fide safe parlay of the week, and I don't like to pick like if I include a guy in my degenerate, I'm not going to include his opponent in the safe. It's just more fun that way. So the degenerate parlay of the week, we're going Flick, Johnson, and Wilson. If that's not degeneracy, I do not know what is, ladies and gentlemen. The safe parlay of the week, it's kind of moot. We're going Jeka, we're going Knutsson, we're going Armfield, ladies and gentlemen. That has been it for the predictions video. Like and subscribe, folks. Let's get back to the comments before we wrap shit up. What's up, Nestro? Good to see you. You got Tank Davis. What's the best moves? We just went over the entire show, buddy. John's pop for Tarinabo. I just did my picks on Tapology. Nice. What's up, TR Clips? Good to see you. Get the fuck out of Fighter Pop for a banned substance. I do not believe it. I picked Miles Johns. Yeah, powers and benefits of the juice. That is true. That is true. That is a good point. I always pick against Johns. Hey, yeah, Polaris is on, and Yoel Romero's in the Polaris grappling. Do you think the fight game is too saturated? Too many leagues and cards? Nope, not even close. Not even close. I wish there were more leagues. Gutted for Van. I'm rocking with him all the way to the belt. Let's go. Cut to gear. Didn't Silva go like 22-0? He had a good run. I don't do a lot of research. I just check Tapology for the last 5 fights and I'm getting to know the fighters better over the last year. Yeah, well, my buddy Shane, like, he's gotten into MMA and combat sports because of me. And he does the same thing. It kind of promises the opposite. We need more cards and fighters to make sport bigger and better as a whole. Well, look what's happened. Now that there's been such a big global expansion, look at all the talent that are coming from small pockets of the world. The only one that we're going shaking our head on is Dagestan, but that's okay. I picked Taira by sub in the 4th. Boone, I just hope they take care of him. Some check of some sort. I think they will. He beat Mokaev, in my opinion. Round 2 and 3, Mokaev did no damage whatsoever. Great point there. Great point. Homie should get his fighter. Homie should get to handpick his fighter for what he's been through. This is a big fight for both guys. Perez, 83% takedown defense. That's legit. I got Perez KO round 2. I like it, Jesse. Perez is hard to take down, but his sub defense isn't great. Knowing the chick. This is an MMA stream, Ilcat. This is an MMA stream. I got Taira by sub round 2 and 3. Yeah, probably because it's an MMA chat and there's like 3 good fights on that 14 card. No, we aren't. This is a UFC prediction. Tank surely going to win, but I might watch the highlights. You can't even kick in boxing. What's up, Rent Boy MMA? Yo, blah. What's going on, buddy? Boxing is part of MMA in the fight game. Boxing is boxing. It's a completely different sport, my man. But I am going to be streaming some boxing right after this, so join us for some boxing. Isn't his father the owner, shooter of some type of high-ranking position? Oh, you know what? Let me look that up quick, because that rings a bell, but like I don't know. And even so, his father didn't handpick him opponents, which is good. Let's see. I just did a quick Google search. I'm just looking right here. Does Tatsuro Taira's father own Shuto? Let's see. He started playing baseball before MMA. That's crazy. Did kickboxing. I don't know if his father owns it, but he was involved in it. Yeah, he was involved in it for sure. And he won the amateur Shudo championship. Yeah, so I'm just looking at his Wikipedia page right now, and it doesn't say anything about his father owning it, but like his father definitely worked for Shudo or worked helping like matchmake. Yeah, this has been a prediction for UFC Fight 9-0 to do with tank card, but I'm picking tank by around 7 to 12 KO. We'll be talking boxing in less than an hour. I know, Ilkat, why are you taking jabs at people in the chat? I'm so confused. Robert Check, better MMA recent streams, blah. Someone just caused. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. You got to be trolling. Not knowing about boxing. Well, so you're calling us casual, and then, dude, Ilkat's going fucking Tony Ferguson up in this motherfucker today, throwing jabs at us. Not knowing about boxing makes me an MMA casual? Really? I disagree. Boxing is just not one of my favorite sports, buddy. I love all combat sports, but boxing is definitely lower on the totem pole for me. I like kickboxing, I like Muay Thai, and I like MMA more. But that's just me. I'm not saying that it's better or worse. That's just my personal preference, man. Taira's going to be 6-0 against Latinos in the UFC. Racially motivated. Yeah, Ilkat's baiting us. He's baiting us. You're right. I'm falling for it. What's up, Latrell? Good to see you. Shaved just for you. What's up, Volcan? Taira Trump. Where's Amberly? She'll probably be here a little bit later. The Brick. The D-Gen hits. I think he gets smoked, though. Both parlays are safe. Let's go, bro. But big shout. We have such a big group here today. Appreciate you guys. I'm about to head out to my target chase location, so I'll join the UFC stream late. Hey, be safe, buddy. Be safe. Dude, Anthony, an absolute beauty in the live chat here. A loyal member, a loyal supporter, and buddy freaking tornado chases for fun, bro. This guy's fucking awesome. Let's fucking go. Yoel is out. Baki replaced him. Leave it to my boy, 4 ounce to freedom, Zach, for coming in with the news. Thank you, buddy. My safe parlay is Knutsson, Cuamba, and Taira plus 240. I think it cashes. That's a very good safe parlay. Yo, what's up, Main Card Minute? We got all the homies in the live chat here. Main Card Minute. He has a great YouTube channel as well, guys. Oh, Rent Boy, that's hilarious. I didn't know the origin of your name either, but thanks for sharing the story. Oh, geez. I know better MMA. He's cool. Robert likes Rigo as well. Yo, Main Card Minute. All right, I'll have to check him out, man. I'll have to check him out. I'll check out his channel and show him some love as well. I like it. I have Cuamba, Taira, and Knutsson winning as well. I'm not high on Cuamba, but he should win. It's pretty solid. I was just super impressed in his last fight, taking that fight on short notice and up a weight class. Let's go. Diaz and Masvidal are MMA fighters, and they're having a boxing match. Yeah, 2 old farts are going to have a garbage boxing match. I have no interest in that at all, buddy. Could you go over the winners again? Oh, my goodness, bro. I don't have time. I'm sorry. We're an hour and 13 minutes in. You can rewind the tape. Sorry about it. I can't do a whole stream again, buddy, as I have another stream coming up in 40 minutes. My apologies. It starts in 40 minutes. No, 40 minutes for the boxer event. There's 2 boxing cards here today, guys. There's 2 boxing cards here today. The one that I'm going to be streaming is the one in England. But yes, the Tank Davis fight is later tonight. If it cashes, I'm definitely bringing some donos around to you too. Oh, you're far too kind, man. I never ask for donations. I never ask for you guys to come members. All I ask is that you smash that like button, smash it like you'd smash Jessica Alba from Into the Blue, and subscribe to the channel, and just join us in the live chat. This is a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Didn't know about Baki. Let's fucking go. What's a better tornado chasing song? Ride the Lightning or Freebird? Ooh, that's a good one. Fuck. Like, I want to say Ride the Lightning just because, like, you know, the name and how pumping it is, but I feel like, but when I think tornado chasing, Freebird's the track that comes to mind. Especially when, like, the pumping part of the song starts and you're just, like, fucking driving away, like, looking behind you. So I'm going to say Freebird. I'm part of the live chat, though, buddy, so I am 100% included. Yo, what's up, Michael Mess? What's up, dude? You held your numbers nicely after that go raid. Thank you, man. Thank you. It was fun. It was fun. I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you guys dig my vibe, and I'm glad you guys dug the stream. And I'm glad you got a membership, my man. Riders on the Storm. That's good too. That's good too. Anisha has to book 3 beers before the boxing stream coming up. So he's got no time to waste. Yes, that's the one we're going to cover. That's the one we're going to cover. Chat, Nisha, don't you all agree that MMA fighters have sloppy hands in terms of boxing? But it's not boxing. It's MMA striking. You think Sabril Matas will win today? What do you guys think, chat? Shit was wild. I'll say it was half my rent. It was half my rent. So you guys are fucking awesome. Seriously, like, words can... I hope that you guys, seeing my reaction, saw how genuinely thankful I was. Seriously. Like, I can say thank you over and over and over again, but, like, from the bottom of my heart, you guys have no idea. Like, the MMA guru didn't even... All he had to do was send his chat over. I did not need a donation from him at all, and he sent, like, 3. And he sent, like, $130, man. So... And the rest of you, whether it was $1 donation, whether it was gifting memberships, whether it was 5, 20, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Like, I never expect that. I'm just a fan of this amazing sport, and I love fucking talking about it with you guys. So I'm just blessed that we were able to grow the community, to be perfectly honest, and blessed that the MMA Guru digs us here as well. So thank you guys. That shit was so wild. That was the second time that the Guru has rated my chat, by the way. He did last year as well. We could live with 5 Punjabi refugees in a 3-bedroom house, 1 bathroom. I bet that's cheap rent in Toronto, though. Ilkat, they're not just focused on hands, so yes. But yeah, like, boxers are good at boxing, okay? Like, I'm guessing that boxing is your favorite sport, and I'm not trying to poo-poo it at all. I'm just saying that, like, this is an MMA stream. I'm more of an MMA guy. I don't care much about boxing in comparison. But for you, Ilkat, for you, my man, we're going to be doing the boxing stream today. Isha's the modern day Jim Morrison. City Life raid, City Life streams. Dude, it's good to see you, Charles Barkley. Exactly what Tank Abbott said. Matthias by KO all day. He's the best fighter at 140. Put boxers in 7-ounce MMA sparring gloves, and a lot of boxers' guard would be nullified. That's a good point as well. It's just a different sport, right? It's just a completely different sport. I like Pero too, but Matthias gonna get it done. It would it pay for a rent, boy? Oh, I was so happy for you last night when that happened. Well, thank you. I mean, GCN Picks has been very kind this week as well. When GCN Picks hits on his bets, he always shares a little some with us, and I never expect that, buddy, and I hope you know that. I'm just happy that you're here. Beast, what's up, Slave Farmer? Slave Farmer gave me such a great compliment last night. He compared me to Don Cherry. He said that I was the most base Canadian that he's ever seen. This guy is the most base Canadian on the planet, ladies and gentlemen. It's sad when Alexa Grasso and Aldana have the best boxing in MMA. Again, I think you're way too focused on boxing and MMA, and I would say that Max Holloway has better boxing than both of them combined. Damn, missed the Guru raid. You're the best MMA and boxing streamer, bro. No one is as reliable as you. Now, I will say Rush Hour Fight Club, my boy Jay at Rush Hour Fight Club, he's the best boxing streamer. He's the best boxing streamer. So Ilkat, honestly, man, I fucking love your support. You're great. I love having you here, but like I think you'd enjoy him better than our channel, to be perfectly honest. Because he's more of a boxing guy. We're more of MMA over here. JDM has the best pure boxing in the UFC. His guard is Ed, but his offense is Chris. JDM's another great boxer. Absolutely. Dude, it was insane, man. It was insane. Keep tabs on Guru. He's a good ally to have. Dude, I've been subscribed to the Guru's channel since before he was at, I think it was when he was around 40,000. For someone who live streams, I just don't go into too many live streams. Every now and then I'll jump in the Guru's chat and like remind him of a good knockout from the regional that he should go watch and then say, you know, like and whatnot. What got me into the Guru's content was his breakdowns, his post-fight breakdowns, and his tier lists. I'm a fan of Veronica Hardy because of you now, Guru. What's up, Tree Hunter? I was saying MMA fighters have bad boxing is like saying Muay Thai fighters have bad boxing, whole different sport. Oh, Rempo, you make me laugh. Explains all the new homies. 12-ounce gloves is a part of boxing. 4-ounce glove boxing would be pointless. MMA is my favorite sport, just not enough emphasis on boxing and the sweet science. I mean, look at Ronda Rousey versus Nunes as an example. Yeah, but like, I feel like you're picking a fight that like no one's even like. How even can I describe this? Like, sure, that's valid, but I don't think to the point where you think it's like a problem. Does that make sense? Takedowns change the game. You have to bring the hands down. Hey, I'm a proud half American, half Canadian, but as my American friends say, I have more American blood than I do Canadian, as my mother's American. My dad was born overseas, but became Canadian, Canadian citizen. So yeah, 2 passports, dual citizens, double the taxes. But hey, at least I can drive. I'm in Minnesota, so at least I can drive to Ontario or Manitoba if I fuck myself up mountain biking this year, because I can't afford them USA hospital bills. Boxing is the sweet science. MMA is the complete science. No, every Monday. We have a show. We've been doing it for 15 weeks now. Every Monday, we have a 2-hour non-stop combat sports talk show. Kind of like, the vibe is a little bit more like sports talk radio. I started everything, this whole path in sports talk radio, hockey talk radio, before I started a hockey media company and did a bunch of podcasting there. And then started doing streams on the MMA side of things. So yeah, every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, non-stop 2 hours of combat sports talk. Ilkat, you just salty about James Toney and Randy Couture. Jokes aside, say life. Can Saint Denis grow? Oh yeah. I think his last fight was like all the credit to Dustin Poirier. But I do think like the antibiotics from Staff clearly were a factor. Because he just didn't look like the same fighter. And in his first loss to the UFC, he took that fight on short notice, up a weight class against Zielecki, who was not in his prime, but who was active and still really good. Do I think Ikram can get it done against Rob next weekend? I think he can get it done, but I think Rob can still hold his own against Ikram. But I'm not saying the 4-ounce gloves. That's why I said 7-ounce, because that's the most padded MMA glove. At the size, the guard changes massively. Yo, what's up, Mikael Francisco? Heard it was popping off in here yesterday, brother. Good shit. Yes, man, it was crazy. Good to see you. You should belong in this chat. I just don't understand how fighters can neglect increasing striking with hands, just settle for the weak striking abilities. Again, I don't think anybody does. I think you might be on an island there, brother. I think you might be on an island there. And yes, of course you belong in this chat, man. We're happy to have you. But the whole game has been based around 12-ounce gloves. It wouldn't be boxing anymore with the different gloves. Yo, what's up, Hank? Good to see you. So to prove my point, you have to think about it so much more in MMA. Love the clean shaven. I can't stand fucking looking like freaking Osama bin Laden. It completely changes how the guard work. Hence, they're different for a reason. Oh man, Ilkat just will not let this go. If you ask pro boxers if they would rate MMA fighters' hands, they would tell you they have so many flaws. Because it's mixed martial arts! And I'm screaming in the mic now! It's not boxing! It's not Muay Thai! It's not kickboxing! So is it MMA, sloppy hands, or bigger openings? Yep. Because I have a company in Canada and I have business in the United States. And so I have to pay the taxes on the company that earns in Canada. I have to pay taxes on the company that earns in the States. I have to pay taxes on all the YouTube stuff. And I also have to pay taxes on any of the earnings that I make as a freelancer in the States. So yeah, I got fucked this year. For making peanuts. For making far less than 50 grand this year, I got fucked. My dad was teasing me and he's like, bro, I had to pay less taxes than you, like by percentage. I was like, yep. I love you, Ilkat, but like, bro, it's a different sport. Free healthcare 2 years. I'm new, but you got a cozy channel, very informative. You are adorable and you got good energy, blessed city life. Oh, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. It's because I'm clean shaven. Yesterday, I looked like a fucking freak with the beard. St. Denis is too far into his career to make massive changes. He's set in his ways at this point. C'est love, c'est love. Shit looks like how effective the cross guard has proven in MMA. Look at Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway examples. They're truly complete MMA fighters. They have above average boxing skills. Dennis the Menace. What's going on, brother? It's been a while. What's up, Sean? Good to see you. Appreciate you, Robert. I've been here in a while and I haven't said shit. I wrote a whole song and I didn't say shit. I just listened to Encore by Eminem recently, so I got all those songs stuck in my head. What's up, Big Red? Now I need to see Isha as Al Capone in the opening scene of Untouchables. Blah. The antibiotics definitely affected him. I had that in high school wrestling and lost to a kid who I beat easily a few weeks ago. They zap your energy. It's crazy how having to work on multiple forms of combat would make your boxing not as good as people that just box. Weird. Finally, Isha's snapped on the rabies cat. He just keeps going on and on about it, dude. And like, no one's like, I don't think anyone's like, his point is that we're not giving boxing enough love in MMA, but like, I feel like everyone gives it as much as it deserves. Fook taxes go off the grid. I can't stream and go off the grid, unfortunately, but someday. You just should have told me you didn't utilize the repatriation tax exemption clauses you were eligible for. I don't even know what that is. Sanjini will fight for the belt when Islam and generations are gone. Glad you liked my music, Ish. How would you rank My Love and Remember Me if they went head to head? Ooh, probably Remember Me. That guitar lick at the end is just my favorite guitar player is Carlos Santana, and that's what it reminded me of. Hugo and Diaz versus Masvidal boxing. Probably Masvidal because Diaz looked absolute trash in his last one. Can't wait to rewatch this stream and compare picks with an evil grin on my face. Shout out to James Toney. If we're going to hate on MMA fighters' hands, let's keep that energy for boxers, kicks, and grappling. I wonder how the dispensary's doing. They're in the hood today. I can't wait for Minnesota to actually have some real dispensaries, my man. They finally legalized the cannabis. I love honey bourbon. Yes, I do. In English, I could have helped you avoid all that double taxation you had to deal with, guaranteed. Well, next year, I'm calling on you, man. I'm calling on you. All right, guys, thank you so much for all the comments here. You guys are the fucking best. This has been one of the most buzzing picks and predictions videos that we've ever had. I have to take a quick break because I gotta get something to eat quick. I gotta do a quick little stretch. Got to get ready for a long day of streams. We have a whole card of boxing, which it's only 5 for 6 fights, so it's probably going to go 6 hours. And then we have UFC in the evening. So the boxing stream is already up, guys. The boxing stream is already up. Let me quickly just give you guys the link in the live chat. And yeah, fucking rights, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out. This has been so much fun. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to all the new members. And shout out to all the homies who've supported City Life for the last like 2+ years and even in this last year. You guys are seriously fucking awesome. Without you guys, there would be no channel. Without you guys, there would be no channel. And we're so close to 10K subs. And we have some fun, silly but fun content coming up for when we hit 10K to celebrate. What's up, Diego? I'm ready to watch some fights with you, my brother. Good morning. Almost reminded me of the Beach Boys. Yeah. Ask Idaho what kind of magic I can do with my individual income tax filing. You guys are talking about it on one of the streams. Maria, she reminds me of the West Side Story. Maria. Watching Ryan Garcia train with Garcia was so sad. Oh my God. Randy Rhodes is the guitar god. Yeah. Hey, I'm learning. 25 minutes to book those beers. Hurry. Growing up in Spanish Harlem. Dude, fuck. Santana's awesome, man. My favorite Santana song here. Here's one for you, Hank the Tank. And for everybody, if you dig guitar, if you dig Carlos Santana, this is my favorite song of his. And dude, and it's a deep cut. But when I saw him for Father's Day 10 years ago, I bought second row center seats at Rogers Arena in Vancouver, British Columbia to see Santana. And he played my favorite song, and it was a deep cut. And the only reason he played my favorite song is because his son, who's like a hip hop artist, opened for him. And this song is about his son. It's called The Blues for Salvador. Check it out. It's one of my favorite guitar instrumental songs on the planet. Hey, what's up, Kari? We'll have inshallah, we will collab. We'll have a good vibes for sure. Much love from California. West Side worldwide, baby. West Side. Could have had universal healthcare with a 10% reduction in military spending. All right. On that note, we'll see you guys in 20 minutes for some boxing. You guys are amazing. Smash that like button and subscribe. We'll see you for boxer boxing and UFC fight night later today. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you all. We'll see you in 20 minutes. Peace.